Horizon Economic Development Corporation to order and ask if there are any guests present, which I don't believe there are. So with that, do we need an executive session, Steve or Mike or Michael?
Yeah, we do to discuss the financials of a corporation.
Okay. Would someone please move that?
So moved.
Okay, I've got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Second.
Aye.
Okay. And opposed and carried.
I will do so. We're there. We are in open now.
We're live. Mike was muted.
Okay, very good. So I have a motion, please, to come out of executive session.
So moved.
So moved.
And the second. And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. So following our agenda, then we would look at agenda item number 3, which would be asking for approval of our August 19th meeting. Someone please make that motion.
I make the motion.
Thank you, Ryan. Okay, motion's been made and seconded. Questions, comments, changes? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
And opposed? And carried. Thank you. Finance Committee, I believe that's you, Dory.
Yeah, real quick, I just want to interject, if we can, when people make the motions and seconds, if you can just say who you are, so for our minutes and such, we know who's the one actually making the motions, please.
Okay, thank you. We'll do that. I hope. Doreen, you ready with finance or?
Yep, I have 4 checks this month, totaling $141,790, of which $123,790 of that is the community benefit fund money that goes to the town of Benton, Barrington, and Milo. We received that check last Friday. If anybody's got any questions. That's all I have.
Hearing no questions, I'm not hearing any. Motion to accept the Finance Committee report.
So moved. Ryan.
Seconded, Rita.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
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 And opposed? And carried. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Doreen. So now we're into our action items. The Finance Committee, the Mustang pub's request.
Mike,
You want to make the motion, Mike LaPerry?
Yep, I have to unmute myself. Started talking, was muted. So Mustang Pub is seeking an additional 3-month extension of the COVID-19 deferred loan payments. We're seeking approval to do this contingent based on financials being received from Mustang Pub and reviewed by our Finance Committee or Loan Review Committee.
Would someone on the board like to make that motion, please?
So moved, Rita.
Seconded, Kim.
Okay, thank you, Rita and Kim. Any questions or comments?
This is Bill. Would we want to consider the
We lost Bill.
yes, this is Bill, and I just heard we want to interest only.
Gene, can you mute yourself, Gene, and then Bill, can you repeat that?
Yes. Yeah, I was wondering if we wanted to go ahead and take a look at the interest only, just in the fact that, one of the busier times of the year, and it just seems to me that we should, try to get them to do something. So even if we get the financials, I mean, if the financials really ship, it just seems to me that means they'd be going away. So, but I don't know, just put it out there for thought.
Is there any discussion on that? If we wanted to do that, we would have to amend the motion.
I think that's a good idea. At least you're paying something on it.
Then would you, Rita, make a motion to amend the motion to include interest only while this is taking place?
Sure. I make a motion to approve the extension, subject to the financial review, but require that it include interest-only payments.
This
Okay,
is Bill, I'll second that.
all right, so we have motion and second. This is on the amendment. So all in favor of the amendment to the motion?
Aye.
Oppose? Okay, now we'll.
And one abstention.
Very good, thank you. Forgot that. So now we'll go back to the original motion as amended. That motion is on the table, so I guess I would ask for discussion. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
And opposed? And abstentions?
Yeah, Ryan.
All right, thank you. The motion passes as amended. Do we have anything else to bring before this meeting?
No, don't believe so. Nope.
All right, then we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Janice.
Okay. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
And carried, thank you. So I have to stay on talking here for a minute, and then I'll go on back on mute. So now we're calling the meeting of the Finger Lakes Economic Development Center to order. And do we need an executive session for this?
Yep, once again, we need to go into executive to discuss the particular company's financials as well as the potential sale or acquisition of real estate.
May I have a motion to move into executive session to discuss those two items?
So moved. Janice.
And a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, Michael, you're gonna put us in, let us know when we're there?
We are there. Sorry about that. We are offline. Okay, we are live again. Oops,
So moved.
we're live again.
Okay,
So
so,
moved.
okay, motion then by Brian to come out of the executive session. Is there a second?
Second, Rita.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
And opposed and carried. Thank you. So we'll proceed with our agenda, which would be asking for a motion to approve the minutes of our last meeting, which was on August 19th.
So moved, Rita.
Seconded, Janice.
Okay, very good. Any questions, comments? All in favor? Aye.
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 And opposed? Changes to our agenda? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on with the agenda, which will be the finance report. Doreen? Doreen, are you there?
Yep. Get my mouse to work. I have checks 5313 to 5338 and E19 to E21, which is the payroll, totaling $41,337.58. I don't think there was anything out of the ordinary there. I don't know. Anybody else had any questions on anything? The new Mike did the new loan report off the new loan software. Anybody's got any comments about that? We sent out the budget just for your review. I don't know that there'll be too many more changes to that, but just so you can have time to look it over, we will have to approve the budgets next month.
I do like that new report, Michael.
Great, thanks.
Is there any questions for Doreen? We have a motion then to accept the treasurer's financial committee report.
So moved, Rita.
I'll second, Ryan.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
And opposed? And carried. All right. Management reports. All the usual procedures of Doreen, then Michael and Steve.
I have no updates.
Oh, that was simple. Any questions for Doreen? Okay, Michael.
All right. I'm going to put you on mute. Oh, good job, Gene. Put himself on mute. Last month, there was a couple questions on the status of the Reconnect grant that the county received for increased broadband. The committee has been meeting twice a week, or twice a month. The whole advisory committee is meeting, and then there is a core team that's meeting the other 2 days a week as well. So they're meeting, the core team is meeting at minimum once a week to progress forward with the grant. We are in the process of sending out an RFP to internet service providers to gauge their interest and receive proposals on going forward and working with us on the grant. The committee and the county are working together to determine the proper operational model. There's 4 different models. First being do nothing. So thankfully that one is not on the table. That is not an option. There's a private ISP model, which the internet service provider basically would own all the infrastructure and operate the internet to the server or to the customers and to the community. There's a public-private model, which is the county or municipality would build out the infrastructure, retain ownership of the infrastructure, and then enter into a contract with an internet service provider to provide the service to the community. The final model is a retail ISP model, which basically would become a new utility for the county. They would own and operate the infrastructure as well as become the internet service provider. So there's a fair amount more work to get to that level. There's, again, discussions ongoing on which is the best and how to proceed forward. A lot of that will be determined based on the proposals we receive from the ISPs, based on the RFP. Obviously, as the farther you go towards that retail model, the internet service providers aren't going to be as interested. But we want to maintain as much control as we can to make it useful for the community and benefit most individuals we can. So I'm strongly leaning towards the private public model and potentially progressing towards a retail ISP model, at least from my own perspective. So Steve and I are going to be talking about how that looks and what we can do to help the county get to that point, even if it's several years down the road once the grant is complete and the infrastructure is built out. Any questions on the broadband? All right. If not, then there's a fair amount of projects that we still have on the table. A couple straight leasebacks that we've received initial approval for that we'll bring back to the table for final approval next month, as well as some additional projects that hopefully we'll be receiving applications for, both straight leaseback and loan applications that I already have received and expect to receive one or two more in preparation of next month. Any questions?
I don't hear any, so we'll move on to Michael, the other Michael.
The only comment that I'd like to make is that I want to say thanks to the board for supporting us on that new loan tool. It has a very robust reporting engine. So if there's any additional information that the board would like to see either on an ongoing basis or on a one-time basis, just contact either Doreen or I, and we'll be happy to provide it. Other than that, I'm open for questions.
I'm not hearing any, so Steve?
All right. Guess the only updates I have is just, I guess they're comments really. Really pretty impressed. Went out and had a tour of the Bitcoin mining operation out at Greenwich Generation. It's a pretty impressive site to see what they have going on out there. It's either the largest or possibly second largest operation of its kind in New York right now. So it's kind of neat to see that sort of high-tech operation happening in Yates County. We haven't had, it's rare for us to say that we have one of the standalone or very few, obviously advanced technology type operations going on. And really, I really am super impressed with the management team out there, how they're handling a monumental shift in operations and what and the knowledge base. It's pretty impressive. On to the other aspect that we are continuing to have discussions around the need for employees in the area. That's why the broadband expansion is so important, because we have to get more housing in the area, because we have to get more employees into the area. As I mentioned I believe I said this to the legislature, I said it to somebody I was talking to, regardless of what Department of Labor says the unemployment rate is, it's fictitious. And I don't mean that in a mean-spirited way to Department of Labor, but there's still nobody to hire right now. And so regardless of who they say are unemployed, they aren't looking. We have CanPack itself has over 40 openings right now that they're trying to fill. And as part of our jobs EQ database we belong to, I can pull online job listings over the past 30 days. And for Yates County alone, there's 300-ish. It's a little north of 300 job postings just online. So tremendous amount of need for employees still. So as I did mention I spoke to the legislature on Monday that, as we continue to build these looks to build out corporate parks, if we could help these businesses through housing and marketing and whatever else we need, fill some of these job openings, we would equal the output of whatever a new corporate park is. So, we'd be thrilled if we built a park and there were 400 employees in there. Well, we have probably 400 job openings right now. So, part of the reason that the investment from the municipalities and ourselves and the chamber into, I guess I'd call it people infrastructure, the amenities we need, the housing we need to draw people here is vitally important. So, other than that, that's all I have.
Any questions then for Steve? Comments? Steve, when you mentioned the chamber, that one time we had this gift certificate program, how did that ever turn out?
It started out good. I don't know if Mike LaPerry, if you have any insight on it, where it is. I think it's stalled out a little, but I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, I had actually reached out to the chamber last week just to see how it was going, and like Steve said, it did slow down and in the past couple of weeks or month or so. It was really hot when it first came out. They were writing checks to businesses and cutting gift cards to people left and right. The chamber is gearing up to do another little marketing push for it in preparation of the holidays. We still have money available for the bonus bucks portion. So again, if someone were to buy a $50 gift card to any business that signed up, that they would actually get a $60 gift card. So with the holidays right around the corner, which is weird, happened fast. I think there'll be another good push of helping these businesses out, at least giving them some additional revenue, people buying gifts, and drum up some revenue for them before the winter.
Just a quick question on that. It sounds like it might have gotten out of the gates well. I know when the kids were graduating, the parents of the seniors have a Operation Graduation Committee where they're, of course, we were caught off guard and had to kind of pivot because of our friend COVID. But so they wanted to give the kids a gift certificate, and they wanted it to be local and go back into the businesses, and they didn't know which business to go to. So I suggested that the person coordinating this reach out to the chamber for that program, right? So that would have been 95 gift cards at $100. They couldn't find anyone in the chamber. They couldn't figure out how to get that done. So again, I don't know exactly what they did to make that happen. But when I followed up with them, they were like, yeah, we couldn't figure it out. So we just ended up giving the kids $100 cash, which was unfortunate because it would have been nice to plow that back into the community, into small businesses. So I don't know if it's worth a sit down with the chamber in terms of, aligning it with the small business Saturday efforts, that go on after Thanksgiving and helping them with communications. And I don't know. I don't want to say that. Yeah, I just think we could probably amplify that better. And I don't know, Steve, if there's a role that we would play for economic development to try to align things around, Starshine and Small Business Saturday, where we have very focused efforts to really showcase it and sell it and have an easy way for people to get it. I don't know. That was just my own personal experience with it.
I just went on the chamber and you can see it right on the main page. It says gift certificates, be local, buy local gift certificate program. So it's right on the main page of their website.
So they obviously didn't work very hard to figure it out then.
I think your ideas are great though, Janice, tying it to Small Business Saturday and getting it rolled out a little bit better. There's some of the outreach that the chamber did. It could have been better, in my opinion. So I'll certainly work with them to see if we can get a larger push for it and help the businesses out when they're gonna need it again. So.
Yeah, I agree. The Small Business Saturday idea is a great idea. So we'll lend our support to the chamber to help them out with that.
Okay, thank you. Glad we had that discussion. There's nothing more on the reports, and we'll move into our next agenda item, which are our action items. And we've got a loan request from Abandoned Brewery.
Yes. Abandoned Brewing is seeking reapproval or an extension of their loan that was approved in June of 2019. They have since been granted approval for their liquor license application and are looking to close on the financing package. The loan terms would be $100,000 ag loan at 1%, 10-year term. Borrower would be Abandoned Brewing. And personal guarantees from AJ Noto and Sarah Struzzi.
We need a motion on that, please.
I'll make a motion to approve the extension.
In a second.
Second.
Any discussion? Comments? Okay, I will ask for all in favor.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
One abstention, Ryan.
Okay, thank you. Next on our agenda item is Java Gourmet. Excuse me, no, I'm sorry, CD. We got a CD renewal. Who wants to talk about that? That's Finance Committee. So, Rita?
Probably Doreen can give you the overview.
Okay, Doreen.
Okay. All right, I sent out the rate sheet that we received from the banks. Obviously we were at 2%, so that's how much the rates have come down in a year. Steve recommended that we do Lions National Bank for 6 months at the 0.45, based on obviously the discussion in executive session. There might be a little bit urgent need for the cash a little sooner rather than later. I don't know if anyone else has any other comments, suggestions.
That recommendation was based on, that was about the highest, it was the highest rate for that period of time. And it was short enough in length that hopefully rates will change a little bit, and we wouldn't need the money before then.
Okay, so we would entertain a motion then to work with Lions National Bank for 6 months at the 0.45 rate.
This is Serene. I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Serene.
Seconded, Janice.
Thanks, Janice. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Abstentions?
Ryan, I'll abstain.
Okay, thank you, Ryan. Okay, so that's carried. So now we're talking about some leases. We've got Java Gourmet wants to amend their pilot.
Leases first.
Okay.
Doreen sent out a
Oh, leases, I'm sorry.
a summary with, there's a bunch of leases on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 different leases that have come up for renewal, a couple of new leases. It was in the email she sent out yesterday afternoon. A couple points of clarification. The lease for Greg Parson is a month-to-month lease. On your summary, it says it's a 1-month lease, which is, I guess, in itself accurate, but it's a it would move on to month to month. And then I don't know, Doreen, I'm noticing the Alex Caney lease the length of lease is missing. So I don't, it was that for a year.
I had asked his assistant to get back to me to how long he thought he wanted, 6 months or a year. And I did not hear back from her because temporarily it was 90 days and then he's still here and it's been almost a year. So I just need to confirm we can say 6 months. Because I don't know what his plan is. His plan is to find some land, build a building, and move out.
Let's leave him off for this month. We'll add him next month.
Okay, that's fine.
So we have the 10 various leases. I don't know if there's any questions or comments, but unless Russ thinks there's a reason we shouldn't, I'm making the assumption we can just do a single approval for the leases as shown in the summary.
You can do them as one resolution.
Perfect.
Thank you, Russ.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for.
That's great. So, hearing that, we've got to have the list in front of us. Well, we have the list, 10 renewals or new. So, would someone like to move that as presented?
I would
I'll
make the motion that we accept that as presented without with removing Alex Keeney's lease, but the rest of the slate as presented.
Seconded, Rita.
Okay, thank you both. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
And opposed? And no abstentions? Hearing none, that's passed. So now we can get into Java Gourmet.
Yeah, for both Java Gourmet actually and Lake Street Wines and Spirits, there's a need to amend the pilots because there has since the initial projects started, there has been residences put in there for the building owner. And so we need to amend the pilots to remove the residential aspect of each of those particular properties. So the pilots would remain for the commercial elements of the building. In Java Gourmet's case, basically we're stripping out the top floor. Depending on how you look at it, there's a basement, the first floor retail coffee shop, and then the second floor has a very small aspect that's a little bit office, but mostly residents for their building. I believe it equals something like maybe 15% or something like that of the total building. Most of the structure is the basement and the retail aspect of it. So, and they're 4 years in, I believe, 4 or 5 years into their current pilot. So we have been in touch with the municipality on this one to amend the pilot to strip out the residential aspect. And for, I guess, just so we don't have to do it again, when we get to the Lake Street, that's roughly 50% of the building is residents. The basement, if you will, the part that's facing the outlet, obviously has the Union Black Bistro and the soon to be, was it Blue Heron, I believe, Blue Heron Bakery, with the Water Street Wines and Spirits on the first floor facing Water Street. The rest is residents. So for, again, same instance where we're stripping out the residential part.
Okay, so the first one then on our agenda would be to amend the Java Gourmet pilot extent or amendment. Motion.
Sorry, Jean. I just had a question. I couldn't get off mute fast enough. So Steve, the amendment is to remove the residential aspects and those then become commercial spaces and then they lease them out for other operations for revenue generation?
It's the only thing we're doing, the project itself hasn't changed from the initial approvals, which in Java Gourmet's case was to construct a facility to handle their roasting of their own coffees and their retail outlet. They did have at one point when they did that project, she did discuss it with me, that the upper floor could potentially at some point be a residence for them, but it was a really small portion of the structure. And in the meantime was going to be an office. So we just included the whole building because it is it really is a small piece of the overall facility. They since sold their actual residential house, their residence house, and have moved in. And as such, we are coming back to then strip out that portion of the building. So the project itself hasn't changed, other than that they now live there in a portion of the building. So we're just removing that.
Oh, so we're excluding that from the pilot.
Right. We're excluding that from the original deal.
Okay, sorry, I wasn't clear on that. And the same thing then for Lake Street?
You got it. Yep.
Okay, thanks. Sorry, Jean.
No, that's fine. So then we'll entertain a motion for the pilot extension or amendment, I should say, for Java Gourmet.
I'll make the motion, Ryan.
Seconded, Rita.
Okay. Questions or comments on that particular motion or request? Hearing none, all in favor?
Jean, this is roll call vote.
Okay. Thank you, Doreen.
Yep. Jean,
Yes.
Kim? Kim? We'll come back to Kim. Rita?
Sorry, on mute.
Yes.
Okay. Rita, yes?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Serene?
Yeah.
Ryan?
Yes.
Janice?
Yes.
Hearing everybody's in favor, so that is passed. Thank you very much. So we'll move on to the Lake Street Wines and Spirits amendment, pilot amendment. Someone like to move that?
So moved, Kim.
Seconded, Rita.
Thank you. Discussion? Sure, it's a roll call, so Doreen, we're on.
Okay, Jean?
Yes.
Kim?
Yes.
Rita?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Serene? Ryan?
I'll abstain from that one.
Okay. Janice?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, the motion is carried, so thank you. Next on our agenda is Parker's Grill sales tax extension.
Parker's Grill is seeking approval to extend their sales tax abatement until the end of October. Allow them to complete their build out and purchase final materials to open the restaurant.
Would someone like to move that?
I'll make the
moved.
motion, Ryan.
Seconded, Rita.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. Questions, comments, discussion? All in favor?
That's roll call,
Aye.
Jean.
Okay, thank you. I mean, you have to put a little R in front of these for me, Doreen.
Okay, I can do that.
Good idea.
Jean?
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Rita,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Doreen, Brian,
Yes.
and Janice.
Yes.
Okay, so that is carried as well. If you put that little R there, then we'll all know when to mute and unmute. Okay, thank you. I see nothing else on the agenda. Is there anything that anyone would like to bring up or discuss? Hearing nothing, then our next meeting is October 21st. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved. So moved. Kim.
Okay, the motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
And opposed and carried. And thank you everyone for your time. We'll